guys, and welcome back for week 5 of fantasy football at the Fantasy Tomorrow studio. As always, my name's Jaden, and we have our resident expert. Please ignore my voice. I have a little bit of scatterbrain, and I'm getting the flu. Not COVID, just the flu. We have our resident expert, Caleb, over here on the other screen. You guys have made it to our injuries video. I don't know why I sound so excited because injuries stink, but hey, you're here. As we get towards the midpoint of the season, injuries can really be a kryptonite for your fantasy football team. But thankfully for you, Caleb and I are here to help you kind of navigate through these injuries. And if you continue to tune in, subscribe if you will, then we will be here to keep giving you the information each week to help you guys keep winning your games. So Caleb, what players were inactive in week 4 that could be returning here soon?
Yeah, so it should be a lot of good news this week. I think we're going to see a large number of players finally return in week 5. To list off who we could end up seeing back, first off is Michael Thomas. Now, if you own Michael Thomas, you are probably really excited to have him back in your lineup. You probably spent a really high draft pick on him, and I think he has a good shot at returning in week 5. He was a limited participant in practice all last week, but just wasn't able to go. But I think he has a good chance to be able to turn that around and to get to play this upcoming week. I think that high ankle sprain is finally starting to alleviate. I think he should be good to go in week 5. Same thing with Davante Adams. Now, he returned to practice last week with that hamstring issue, but wasn't able to go in week 4. But I think he has a good chance to return in week 5, which is good news for Adams. Le'Veon Bell, running back for the Jets. Now, he's been on injured reserve for the last 3 weeks. He hasn't been playing, but I think he expects to come back in week 5, which is good news for Le'Veon Bell owners. No doubt you want him back in your lineups. Also, Chris Godwin, wide receiver for Tampa Bay. Now, he's in a little bit of a stickier situation. His team plays on Thursday night this week, which means he has a short week to try to recover and get ready. So his chances might not be as good. Again, still nursing a hamstring injury. But he could turn around and make it happen, but he definitely needs to log some practice time this week. Also, A.J. Brown with the bone bruise in his knee. He is gotten a little extra work this week. It's kind of worked out for him because Tennessee's been going through this COVID ordeal. But I think that he could turn around and end up playing in week 5 if that game is going to actually happen, if they can get COVID under control in Tennessee. Also, Deontay Johnson, he's had a concussion. He's a wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think, again, he's going to benefit from the extra week off he had with that game with the Titans and the Steelers in week 4 being canceled. He's had extra time to prepare, extra time to get healthy. And I think Deontay Johnson is going to be absolutely fine to go in week 5. Raheem Mostert is another player who has a chance to come back, but he didn't practice at all last week. So he needs to practice this week to have a chance. So, again, he's running back for the San Francisco 49ers. He's dealing with a knee injury, which is very tough for a running back, and he needs to practice in order to come back. Jimmy Garoppolo, his quarterback in San Francisco, he's also coming back from injury. It's an ankle injury for him, but like Mostert, he did not practice last week, which is concerning, so he needs to practice this week to have any shot of returning. Now, Phillip Lindsay, running back for the Denver Broncos, he has a good chance to come back. He's still dealing with turf toe, but he is expected to return in week 5, which is good news for Lindsay. Leonard Fournette, running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, he is dealing with an ankle injury. He did not participate in practice last week, but apparently the Buccaneers think he could come back on Thursday and play in that game this week. So, good chance for Fournette. Definitely need to keep an eye on him, though. Also, Zach Moss, running back for Buffalo. He's had a toe injury, and it was kind of surprising that he didn't suit up and play in week 4. But I think that he will be able to come back finally in week 5. He's missed 2 weeks. But I think Moss should be okay to go. Just be careful about maybe plugging him in your lineups. Carlos Hyde, running back for Seattle. Now, he has a shoulder injury, and I thought that he'd be able to play in week 4, but he wasn't. So definitely with a shoulder for running back, you need to be very wary of that. They take a lot of hits. He definitely is going to need some time, but I think he could improve quickly and return this week. Last player I'll mention is Jared Cook, tight end for the New Orleans Saints. He has a groin issue. He's been held out of practice for the last few days. Definitely needs to log into practice times to have any chance of returning this week.
You guys should be so happy with how long that list is. I pretty much had enough time to take a nap over here. It was just kept going. That's awesome.
Yeah, a lot of players coming back, which is good.
Yeah, no joke. I didn't realize there was that many that were coming back this week, hopefully anyway.
Yeah, hopefully.
But, okay, so are there any players that got hurt in week 4 to be watching carefully?
Yeah, so definitely a couple, and it's actually good that it's only a few. So it's good news. It's not nearly as bad as it's been in weeks past, so it's getting a little bit better as the season wears on. So it's really good. But there are still some injuries. Kenyon Drake, running back for Arizona. Now, he has a chest injury. It looked really bad watching the game when he got hit. He's grabbing his chest. But it turns out he just got the wind knocked out of him. So he's going to be fine. He should be totally good to go to play against the Jets in week 5. I like Kenyon Drake this week. He should be totally fine. Julio Jones, now, he has a hamstring injury. He got pulled from the game on Monday night. And I think that it could be a little tougher for him to be able to come back this week. Definitely need to watch and see if he's able to practice at all. And again, he's getting a little older, which is concerning. Julio Jones hasn't had a good start of the year, which is concerning. So definitely need to keep an eye on his status as practices go on for the Falcons this week. Sam Darnold, quarterback for the New York Jets. Now, I know you're probably not starting Sam Darnold in your lineup unless you're in a 2-quarterback league or a super deep league. But he's probably not going to be able to play this upcoming week. He had a shoulder injury, which stupidly they let him go back out onto the field and keep playing through it after he sustained it on Thursday night. It's not good for a quarterback anytime that your shoulder is hurt. So he's probably going to need some time to heal up. I don't really expect him to play in week 5, so definitely keep an eye on Sam Darnold. And then another one who's probably a little bit more concerning than Sam Darnold is Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, well, he tested positive for the coronavirus, so he did not play in week 4 against the Chiefs. That game actually ended up getting pushed back a day because of it, and it was a whole mess. But we'll see what happens with Cam Newton. Definitely need to keep an eye on his test results. He's asymptomatic right now, which is good news. It means that he could have a couple of negative tests come up in the near future. If he gets 2 negative tests back-to-back, he should be good to play. I know the Patriots will want him playing for them as soon as possible. So definitely need to keep an eye on Newton. He could be out for another week or 2. He could come back as soon as this week. It's just, we don't know. This coronavirus stuff is really crazy. Really have to keep an eye on it and see what happens with him.
You know, as much as Caleb talks about the Jets, I'm starting to think that maybe he is secretly their biggest fan, and he just tries to instead make you guys think he doesn't like them. Because he seems a little worried for their quarterback, that's all I'm saying.
I like
the
Sam.
time he's mentioned him today.
Yeah, I know. I actually like Sam Darnold a lot. I think I just feel really, really bad for him. That's really it.
Okay. Okay, whatever you say.
Uh-huh.
Are there any players that got hurt in week 4 that could be missing a significant amount of time? I don't know why I'm saying all this with with a big smile on my face. I probably should not. I look so oh yeah, they got hurt. Okay, whatever. Yeah. No, are there any players that might be missing a significant amount of time?
Yeah, so unfortunately there's a few running backs that are probably essential to your team, so definitely stinks. Austin Eckler, he has a hamstring and a hyperextended knee injury, which is not good for a running back, and it looked really bad when he was coming off the field on Sunday. He's going to miss approximately 4 to 6 weeks. Hopefully that's it for him. That injury looked really terrible, so he's probably going to need all the rest he can get, so don't count on Eckler. If you need someone to replace him, Justin Jackson could be the person that comes in and replaces and takes over the role that he had, him combined with Josh Kelly. So if they're available, I would go get them or try to pick up somebody else. You can check out our waiver wire video. Might be able to give you some tips for some players that you could get in Eckler's absence. Also, Nick Chubb, running back for the Cleveland Browns, he also got hurt. He hurt his knee. He's going to be out for roughly 6 weeks. Definitely not good news for Chubb. If you need to replace him, I would go and pick up Ernest Johnson. He's probably going to take over the role that Chubb had in this offense, splitting carries with Kareem Hunt. I think Johnson has a good chance to produce flex value, basically, in the offense while Chubb is gone. Noah Fant, tight end for the Denver Broncos, he hurt his ankle. He isn't expected to play this upcoming week. The Broncos are actually listing him or saying that he's week to week, so that's not good at all. We don't really know when Fant's going to be coming back. If you need a tight end, go pick up Dalton Schultz or Robert Tonyan, someone that we listed in our waiver wire video. Again, go check that out if you need replacements for any of these players. The last person I'll mention is O.J. Howard. He likely wasn't on your team, but he had an Achilles tear or rupture, and he's going to be out for the year. So really bad news for O.J. Howard. But again, if you need someone to kind of keep an eye on, if you liked Howard, Cameron Brate could be the person that takes over his role in the offense for the Buccaneers. So just keep an eye on him as well.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's your update on injuries this week. Hopefully this helps you kind of be able to navigate your team and kind of figure out your lineup a little bit better. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep coming back and hanging out with us so we can help you navigate through this apocalyptic. Is that the right word? Apocalyptic?
Yep.
It's kind of fun to say. Oh my gosh. Apocalyptic wasteland that we call football injuries. I'm going to go on ahead and throw up our recap over here, so say goodbye to Caleb. It's just going to tell you all the players that we kind of talked about, who to be looking for, who to be watching, who's probably going to be out for a long time. As always, my name is Jaden. I always have to throw myself a plug at the end. This is Fantasy Tomorrow, where we're giving you the information to learn today and win tomorrow. We'll see you guys next time. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.